Welcome to Knicks Home Court with your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is episode number 75. This will be a quick episode. Just want to say a few things about the game. I don't even know if I'm going to analyze it. Just the fact that it's a 48-minute game. The other team has pride as well. So just because you get a big lead doesn't mean the other team's going to stop trying. To me, it felt like the Knicks had that big lead because they were coming off the high of the Toronto win, right? And then it seemed like they might have thought they were actually that good without effort. And what I saw from the Atlanta Hawks, I didn't see a bunch of skill. I saw a level of effort. Again, the Knicks have to use a lot of effort to win these games. They're not hella talented. They're not going to win on talent or talent alone. Effort. That's what they needed. And after the first quarter, midway through the second quarter, you saw them just not making the effort. And that's what young teams do. So that's why I asked the question yesterday, are the Knicks a good team? Not going to go crazy over one loss because it's one loss. Let's see how they bounce back. Now they got the Houston Rockets tomorrow, which is a team they really don't match up against. A team that's been playing very well, an elite team. The Knicks can lose this game by 30 or 20. I hate to say it, I'm an optimistic fan, but I just don't think they match up with this team, the Rockets. However, in an 82-game season, I bet the Toronto Raptors are saying, we shouldn't have lost to the Knicks. Now the Knicks are saying, we shouldn't have lost to the Hawks. You know what it is? It's the NBA, man. It's the NBA. And all of those players are good. Unless you have a complete tank squad. And then I saw Knicks fans on Twitter, they were saying stuff like, the Knicks are going to be so good next year. They're going to be a beast next year. No. Maturity, consistency is needed to become a good team. And not just consistency as far as, consistently winning, but consistent effort. Every coach, they can put up with a team losing. They can't put up with lack of effort. That's the worst thing. That's just like in life. Having no effort is a problem. They always say work smart, not hard, but that's really some bullshit. Work smart and hard. If you work hard and smart, you'll get a lot more than just working smart. You still got to work hard as well. Don't ever let nobody lie to you with that shit. Just work smart. No, working smart just means directing your hard work in the right areas, yes, but you need to fucking work hard. Don't ever think that shit. So anyway, like I said, so the Knicks got up, early lead, and the thing is, the thing that really made me nervous early on is Courtney Lee was scoring all these points. We know he's not really a scorer like that. Even though he's played well the last few games, somebody lit a fire under him, and he's playing very well, but don't expect that to continue, because that's, again, remember what I said about hot shooting and players playing the way they normally don't play. Kristaps still had 28 because that's what he's going to do almost every game. But when you see Courtney Lee doing that and you're not getting the contributions from the Doug McDermotts, and you're not getting the contributions from the smaller players on the team, you see, a team is far more dangerous if you have 7 players scoring 10 points than 2 players scoring 30. You get 7 players scoring 10, another player scoring 25, that team is a juggernaut. But a team that has 2 guys scoring 30 and everybody else scoring 5 points, it's not going to be good. And it's easy to defend a team where you know where the points are coming from. That's just how it is. Unless you have that elite players like Russell Westbrook and Paul George and Melo. And the reason why I mentioned them is because a lot of people are clowning them. They're 8 and 9 right now. Trust me, they're going to win over 50 games. They're going to be a contender this year because that's talent. They're trying to figure out things, but that's talent. Knicks don't have that luxury. The Knicks need to win with hard work and need to know how to bring it every game. Every single game. Yes, it's tough to do that. It's tough. But it's also tough being a good team. You want to make the playoffs? You're talking about playoffs? You got to bring the effort. Atlanta won that game with effort. That's all. Yeah, they made some shots, but it was really effort. They out-efforted the Knicks, basically. That should never happen. Should never happen. You can lose. You just don't ever want to get outworked. Also, it was an example of the Knicks playing on the road. You see, playing on the road, they're not used to doing that. So, understand they played a lot of home games. So I'm preparing you because we don't know exactly until this team starts playing what road games. We got to see how they bounce back. They're going to be in Houston tomorrow. That's not an easy game. Like I said, if they win that game, I'll be out of my mind. But that's not an easy game. And also, I think we get to see how much the Knicks really need Kanter. And also, too, Kyle O'Quinn is beginning to come back to the pack. He's beginning to be the player he's always been. You know, a nice bench player, maybe an eighth guy off the bench. And I'm not upset with Billy Hernangomez. He needs playing time to get his rhythm. But Kyle O'Quinn, that's why I always say it's a long season, folks. It's a long season. Players are going to play. Everybody's going to get their time to shine. It's what they do with that time. Kanter back, that's scary to me. He might miss tomorrow's game too. Or maybe it could be a rest because I know the NBA has this thing now. They have this thing with you can't just rest players no more. You get fined. So you got to say somebody's hurt. So if he plays tomorrow and seems very healthy, yeah, that was a rest day. And you know what? When you're playing the Hawks, you should be able to rest a player or two. You should be able to. I mean, that's the whole purpose. Oh, we're playing the Hawks tonight? Okay, we can rest Kanter. But you saw, without Kanter, that's a completely different team. They're a completely different team. He brings, like I said, it's not just him scoring, but it's just the intangibles, the fact that he's a threat, that you got to worry about him. You saw all the triple teams Kristaps was getting? That wasn't going to happen if Kanter was there. Kyle O'Quinn is not shooting the free throw jump shot, which he's very good at. I don't know why he's not shooting it, but he's not shooting it. And again, right now, Hernangomez is getting his feet wet. He's getting his feet wet. He's trying to get back into getting used to playing because he's going to get his shot. He's going to get his shot. I can see him and O'Quinn flip-flopping eventually. And if they do flip-flop, and if he really starts playing well, he defensively, I don't think Hernangomez ever is going to be anywhere near good on defense. I think he's going to suck on defense for his whole career. He just has the worst defensive instincts, some of the worst defensive instincts I've ever seen. Seriously. He goes for every fake. He's like the Pillsbury Doughboy. He really got to get himself together. So I don't see him ever being a defensive player. But hey, you need that offense as well. That's why when people talk about trading somebody like O'Quinn, I don't really see it. We need that defensive presence. But I'm going to tell you what, and this is probably an unpopular opinion. If the Knicks do decide to trade O'Quinn, that won't be the worst thing because he's an offensive liability. You know who else is an offensive liability? Joakim Noah. You know who's a really good defensive player? Joakim Noah. And Joakim Noah doesn't have to play 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 50. He can give us a good 5-10 minutes a night. Like a night like tonight, you would want to have that veteran in there to be a presence on defense and make the right play. Because I don't know what's happening to O'Quinn, but he just it's like a pumpkin. You know, he turns back into the pumpkin. Now, I don't expect him to average 15 points or score like that, but he just starts making, it's not that he's not making shots, it's like his IQ just goes down. It's like he doesn't know what he's doing anymore. I don't know what happened to him. The defense is still good. He's still rebounding. But he's not shooting the wide open jump shots when he has them. He's not doing that. He's always done that. Maybe he needs a little talking to. Maybe he needs to be benched a game or two. I'm telling you, that's how it is when you coaching. You got to light fires. You got to make unpopular decisions. But again, it's not the end of the world. They lost the game to the Hawks. This is how I look at it. If we're being honest, if we're really being honest, we did not expect to beat Toronto. We fully expected to beat the Hawks. All we did is flip-flop, people. That's all we did. Yes, I was greedy. I felt greedy. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We beat Toronto. We could beat the Hawks. We could be 4 games over 500. I got greedy. Nothing wrong with that. We didn't show up tonight. We didn't. We thought we punched them in the face and thought they was going to lay down. They got back up and they hit us with a flurry and we couldn't do nothing about it. Simple as that. Now we got a game tomorrow. A tough one. Which most likely, like I said, don't be mad if they lose by 50 tomorrow. That's the kind of team Houston is. But if Houston's missing their shots, maybe we have a chance. And I'm going to tell you, Kristaps always plays well against Houston. You even seen Hornacek try to go to the small lineup. He probably went to it a little too late, to be honest. And you know what? When Cantor doesn't play and O'Quinn is not playing well and Hernan Gomez still trying to get his feet wet, I don't mind him going to the small lineup a little earlier. That's how good Cantor has been, man. He's a presence. And you see that now. And it hurt the team. It's like having a big brother on your side. Even if your big brother doesn't do anything, the fact that he's there gives you confidence. He wasn't there tonight, at least on the court. So we lost a bad one. We won a good one the day before. So that's just how it goes. That it's a long season, folks. There'll be even let me tell you something. Even a championship contender lays an egg every now and then. So it's just one game. I never judge a season off of one game. I saw the tide turn. I was like, man, if the Knicks energy does not see, and this is what I was saying again in the previous podcast, it's not about numbers. I don't pay attention to the numbers as much, even the score. You know why? Because if you're not playing the right way, if you're not bringing the effort, I can see the tide turn. You can see it. The numbers will show that eventually, but you can see it. And I'm looking at the game, I'm like, all right, the Knicks is running up and down and they happy and scoring. All right, that's cool. And when Atlanta, and they held Atlanta back for a minute, but Atlanta kept coming. And then Schroeder just shredded Jarrett Jack tonight. And this was one night where we needed Ntilikina, but Ntilikina was bad on offense, so it didn't help us. We couldn't use him. And think about it, like I said, eventually, this is a positive though. Eventually, Ntilikina will be able to stay on the court. And all of that shit Schroeder was doing, Schroeder got that offense going. He was such a threat, you had to worry about him. When you got a guy that can blanket the point guard and stop the point of attack, that disrupts the whole offense. So you saw how Schroeder was able to get everybody going because he got hot. And when you can't stop him, and he literally played like Chris Paul tonight as far as that shooting around the key and the free throw line, he was destroying us all night. Jarrett Jack couldn't do nothing against it. He couldn't do nothing. He's quick. He can shoot. We lost a bad one. It's all right. No big deal. It's a long season. Forget about this one. I hope they can forget about it. Bounce back. Kristaps got that tech. Just because, because sometimes, all right. Sometimes you're just in a situation where all of a sudden it's a game and you can't wrap your mind around it. And I felt like the Knicks couldn't be like, okay, it was more like, fuck. And they lost their mojo, and that happens. So anyway, like I said, this was going to be a short podcast. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't expect a lot of views on this one. When the Knicks lose, I notice I always get less views, especially this kind of loss. I have a feeling nobody wants to listen to this shit. I don't blame you. Because I don't listen to sports talk. And let me tell you something. Good thing the Knicks play tomorrow. And if they get blown out tomorrow, I can guarantee you, this is my prediction. If they get blown out tomorrow, come Monday, they're going to be talking about the Knicks. The sports people are going to talk about the Knicks because it's all for 2 losses. That's just how it is. Get used to it. I think that happens because basically People hate New York. That's what it really is. They hate on New York. You know, they come from little small cities and shit. They get overshadowed by New York and they hate that shit. So they hate on us. It's all good. Anyway, this has been Knicks Home Court, episode number 75. I'm your host. My name is Greg Armstrong, and I will speak to y'all later. Peace.